Alright everyone, so today we are going to explore GitHub Copilot Agent Mode in Visual Studio. So in 2026, how can you actually make the GitHub Copilot Agent Mode? Okay, how to use it. So like today we are going to learn about one of the biggest improvement in AI assistant programming, that is GitHub Copilot Agent Mode, which is inside the Visual Studios. Okay. So now, many people think Copilot is just another chatbot that simply writes the code, but that's not true anymore, I think. Because earlier, what will happen is AI could only answer your questions or generate code only. But now AI can actually work like a junior developer inside your project. Okay. It can create the files, it will modify existing files you have, it will run tests, it will fix bugs if have, and even if it builds the complete features. So here's the very interesting part I want to tell you, that is, just because AI can do all these things doesn't mean we should blindly trust it. Because a lot of people are blindly trusting the AI. But there are many mistakes beginners make while using the agent modes. Okay. A lot of beginners are making. So sometimes it edits the wrong file, sometimes it misunderstanding your request, sometimes it spent 30 minutes doing something that you could have been manually in just 2 minutes. So whatever the task you can do it to, like, you can do it in 2 minutes, it will spend 30 minutes. So there is a flaw in this. But don't worry, today in this video I am not going to show you what agent mode is, but I will share you some practical lessons that developers has learned after actually using it in real project. Okay, so what are the things that we will be covering? Just let me give you the idea. So how agent mode works, then when to trust it, when not to use it, which AI model to choose, how to save the money, and at the end we will see how to avoid losing your entire project because of just one AI bad prompt. Because see, prompt engineering is a skill you can improve by doing that thing. Okay, and you don't know, if you can have a good prompt engineering skill, then you can literally make a lot of money also. Okay, by teaching to someone else. But that's another part. So let's deep dive into this thing. So again, get started, accounts and mode. Okay, so see, before using AI agents, the very first requirement is having a GitHub account. It's very important, because if you don't have the GitHub account, you can't do all the things. So you have to first make the GitHub account. Okay, GitHub offers two plans basically. The first one is a free plan. So if you are just like learning programming, or experimenting with AI, the free plan is perfectly for you. And however, if you are a professional developer who uses the AI every day, then you can quickly hit the usage limits. Okay, that's where GitHub's Pro becomes very useful for you. Okay, because see, once connected, copilots become available inside your IDE. And here's where many beginners get confused, and that is, Copilot has two different working modes. Number first mode is a chat mode, and number two is a chat GPT mode. Okay, or I can say not a chat GPT, but it's an agent mode. So first is a chat mode and second is a agent mode. So see, think of a chat mode is like a chat GPT. Like, you can ask a question, it gives an answer to it. For example, just for the example, explain binary search. Let's say if you have typed this, or write the Python function. So it simply responds. It doesn't touch your projects. But now if you use the agent mode, it's work completely different. So instead of only answering the questions, agent mode actually start working inside your code base. So suppose you have told create an authentication system. So instead of just giving you one code, it creates multiple files, updates configurations, add routes, creates controllers, run the test. So basically chat mode talks while the agent mode actually works. That's make the biggest difference. But remember, always, with great powers comes great responsibility also. You have also heard this thing. So always review what it is doing. Okay, so a lot of people or a lot of beginners are not understanding this thing. You have to review what they are providing. Okay, because it's not possible that every time it is giving the 100% correct code. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hope you got the value and you understand what I want to tell. So let's go ahead. Protect yourself, source control first. Okay, see, this is probably the most important lesson of today's video. Why? Because see, let's say, never let AI modify your project without version control. Why? because AI writes code extremely fast. If you have seen, it can modify hundreds of files within the minutes. Now imagine it misunderstood your prompt also, na? So instead of improving your application, it breaks everything. Now the question is how to recover it. That's why Git is your safety net. Because asking agent mode is to perform a major task. Always commit your projects. Like you can think of Git commits like a game save points. If something gets wrong, you simply restore the previous version. Another mistake developers make it forgetting the database. That is, people usually commit the code but forget the database script. But if AI changes migration or delete the tables, recovering becomes extremely hard. So always version your database changes too. Another tip is that making small commits. That means I am at this point. Let me explain you. Yeah. So commit small commits. So instead of making one huge commits after several hours, commit every important milestone. Small commits make debugging much easier. In short, before AI start working, prepare an escape route. This is what I want to tell. So this is all about how can you protect yourself. These are the four things that you have to consider. Agent can generate huge volumes of code first, and a lot of it will need fixing later. A solid strategy before you start protest your project. I hope you got the things which I want to tell you. Okay, I have also used a lot of examples. So in case if you haven't understand, you can rewatch the whole video. Okay, so you will get the idea. Let's go ahead. So the workspace is a sandbox. Let's understand this thing. So see, a lot of people or a lot of developers are confused at this concept, but I want to make the things very easier for you. So agent mode cannot access your entire computer. Okay, it only sees your current workspace. Imagine your workspace is a room. Okay, everything inside the room is visible, but everything outside the room is invisible na? For example, suppose you have two folders. This is what I want to explain you. Suppose you have a two folder. One contains your old projects, another contains the new project. Okay, now if both folders are inside the same parent directory, let's say, so agent mode can access both. But if one project is on another drive or another folder outside the workspace, copilot cannot see it, right? So many people thinks Copilot is broken because it says file not found. Actually, the file exists, but it exists outside the sandbox. Okay. Another interesting issue is that sometimes Copilots even misses folders that are technically inside the workspace. So whenever you are unsure, just simply ask which folder can you currently see. It will list everything. And this simple trick, I can say, this simple trick can literally save a lot of a lot of debugging time. This is what I think. So Copilot can only act inside the current workspace folder, and its subfolders nothing outside it. I hope you got the understand, or I hope you got the point which I want to explain with you. Okay, so without wasting time, let's go ahead. Always review the execution plan. So the next one is always review the execution plan. What do you mean by this? Let me just explain you. So this feature is extremely important. So whenever AI agent receives a large task, it first creates an execution plan. Think of this like an architect drawing a blueprint before building a house. Because see, is very important. If you don't have a good architect, then there is no point to build a house. So you have to first plan. For example, suppose you say convert my project into clean architecture. So instead of immediately changing everything, Copilot first explain what it's planning to do. Maybe it can say like step 1 is like this, step 2 is this, step 3, step 1 is like create a new folder, step 2 is move business logic, step 3 is update dependency injection, step 4 is like run test. So now this is your opportunity to review its thinking. Okay, sometimes AI misunderstood your request also. So if you notice something wrong, correct it before executing begin, like before the execution begins. This is a tip which I want to give you. So if you notice something wrong, right, so correct it before execution, before the execution begins, because it might spend the next 20 minutes doing the wrong things. But one setting I highly recommend enabling is always ask for confirmation before execution. This is also one of the tips. This gives you the complete control. Never allow the AI to execute blindly, because it's an AI. It has a lot of data, so it will sometimes not give the correct answer. So you have to review from your side. So before the execution, you can review it from your side. So this is a very important tip which you should know. Okay, so let's go ahead. Choose a model and managing cost. Let's understand this thing. Now let's talk about something many developers ignore, or many people are still ignoring. That is a cost. See, GitHub Copilot supports the multiple AI models, and each AI model has a different pricing also. Many beginners immediately choose the most powerful model because they assume that it always gives better answer. Like, it's a beginner mindset. Let's say I am a beginner, I will think like, let's choose the most powerful model because it will give me the better answer. But that's not necessarily true. For simple coding tasks, a lightweight model is often enough. For example, like if I want to write the documentation, creating simple CRUD operations, explaining the code, or generating the comments, using an expensive model for this task is simply it's a wasting of my credits. Okay, save premium models for difficult situation, like let's say complex debugging, architecture design, performance optimization, or large code refactoring. Think of it like a transportation. You don't hire a helicopter just to buy the grocery. Like a bicycle is enough. I hope you got the idea. I want you to think like this so that you will never forget this concept. Okay, let me just again repeat this thing. Okay, you can think of it like a transportation. You don't hire a helicopter just to buy the grocery. A bicycle is enough. Similarly, don't waste premium AI models on simple works. Monitor your GitHub usage dashboard regularly. Otherwise, you might suddenly run out of premium requests in the middle of your important project you are doing. Okay. I hope you completely understand the costing and all that. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, when agent mode is slower than doing it yourself. So this is one of the biggest myth about the AI. People think AI is always faster, but actually that's not true. Let's take a simple example. Suppose you want to create 25 projects, okay? Agent mode can certainly do it, but it might spend 30 to 40 minutes creating everything. But instead, you could simply ask Copilot, write a PowerShell script that creates these projects. The AI agents the script in seconds. Like the AI will generate the scripts in seconds. You run it, finished. This is much faster. So the lesson here is simple, very. Whenever a task is repetitive, don't ask AI to perform it manually. Ask AI to automate it. That's the smart approach. Remember this rule every time, okay? And the rule is simple. AI should eliminate repetitive tasks, not because repetitive work itself. I hope you got the point. Let me just again tell you. AI should eliminate repetitive work, not become repetitive work itself. Okay. So this is a very important thing. I hope you completely understand what I want to deliver with you. Let's go ahead. Now, some common takeaways that you have to take from this video, because as you have watched the video, so I don't want you to just only watch the video. You have to take some actions also, because without actions, you won't able to explore the AI tool or the model which I have just told you. Okay. So, okay, let's finish with a very most important lesson. The first is Copilot is an assistant, not your replacement. So it doesn't understand your projects like you do. It predicts the pattern. Sometimes those predicts are intelligent. Sometimes they are completely wrong also. Okay. So this is also important. Second one is like, if a task takes you only 30 seconds, just do it yourself now. Don't spend 5 minutes writing the prompts. A lot of people are making the mistakes. Like, don't waste your time in writing the prompt. If you can do that work and it will spend only 5 minutes, or I can say it will only take 30 seconds, then just don't spend your more time on writing the prompt. Number third, that is, let's say if agent modes become silent for several minutes, let's say, okay, don't just wait, ask it, what are you doing? You have to just simply ask. Or you can also say, are you stuck? Many times it simply needs clarifications. Okay. So finally, we are at the last point, that is match the model to the task. Choose the right model for the right task. Use cheaper models for like everyday coding. Use premium models only when you truly need them. Okay. And if you follow these simple principles, I can literally say that agent mode becomes one of the most powerful productivity tools that is available in today's era. It won't replace the developers, but developers who know how to use agent mode efficiently, they will definitely outperform developers who won't. So that's all from my side. I hope you completely understand the whole concept of this thing. Okay, how GitHub Copilot actually works in the Visual Studio. So if you still have any question in your mind, then you can simply go to the comment section and you can ask it right now. And you can also give me the review or whatever you have learned from this video. You can share your learning in the comment section, and you can also share this video to one of your friends so that it will help them to understand like how the AI is changing everything. So see you in the next video. If you have still any question, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, see you in the next video.